Hello everybody, welcome to Glass Half Dead and welcome to the Corsair Voidscarred kill team from Kill Team Nachmund for, of course, Warhammer 40k, if you want to have the universe we're talking about here. Guys, this is going to be a simple man reads book, because that's all I can do. Now in the Legionary video, I tried to go from man reads book to man understands book, but I gotta be honest, there were 6 models there, now there are 9 models. And that's 3 too many for me. I can't handle it. And because of that, I'm simply going to read the book too. It's anything else is beyond me. But because of that, I have managed to employ the services of the best. Who is the best? Well, I'm sure you know them, at least by reputation. It is the entire Spanish community, because they are kill team mad. And who, of course, is their spokesperson? It is...
Greetings people, I'm John from Kill Team Granada in Spain. I'm very glad that Glass Half Dead invited me for commenting those space elves. But before we get started, I want to give you all a double hello from the Spanish community. We follow all the Kill Team content you make, and we really enjoy it, even if our English level isn't quite high. Actually, please forgive me if I make any pronunciation mistake. I'm not English speaker, so I will try to do my best, but yeah, forgive me.
So Jon is going to be helping us out here. I'm going to read, he's going to explain. Let's get rid of me, let's look at the rules. Now look, I know that you want to just jump straight to how do you build them? What archetypes can I take? What equipment can I take? What are all of the psychic powers? I know, but we have to start as the book goes. So we start with the Tac Ops, okay? Let's dive into it. Also, I would like to quickly point out, if you're really interested in this team, keep an eye out. I've got a battle report between them and the Legionaries coming up very soon in the week. Let's dive straight in. First up, we have Flawless Raid. You can reveal this Tac Op at the target reveal step of any turning point after the second. If you had more victory points than your opponent at the start of the turning point, you score 1 VP. If you achieve the first condition at the start of the subsequent turning point, you score 1 VP. Now this is interesting. This isn't the very first time we've had you must do something in this turning point, otherwise you fail. But it is the first time we've had you must also do something in the second turning point after this is announced. So if you, let's say, call this out in turning point 2, you must accomplish the first bullet point in turning point 2, and then you must accomplish the second bullet point in turning point 3. Because these are, Soul Guard looks long, right? Let's see if we can break it down.
The other 2 Tac Ops are very similar. Both of them have to be revealed in the first turning point, in the strategy phase of the first turning point. After that, whenever a model is killed, some tokens will be placed. I will explain how exactly in a moment. And after that, you will have to make the usual pickup action to gather them and getting them carrying by your models. So, with the Soul Guard, the issue is that when one of your models is getting killed, before you remove the model, put a Spirit Stone token in the table. At the end of the game, if there are no Spirit Stones on the table, you score 2 victory points. So, you can just gather all of them, so all the Spirit Stone tokens are being carried by your models, or actually you didn't lose any model. That's unusual, but yeah, could happen. But if you only carry at least half of them, then you score 1 victory point. And the other Tac Op, Opportunist, it's very similar in this way, but you have to choose 3 enemy models. Those are going to be carrying a loot you want to stole. So after you kill those models, you can just pick up and loot and salvage the corpses and get a loot token. And the end of the game, if you carry at least 1 loot token, you score 1 victory point, and if you carry all of them, the 3 of them, you score 2 victory points.
Let's jump on over. I've gone too far. Amazing. I don't even know what this is called. The build. The list build. The list that one can build. First up, archetype, Recon, Seek and Destroy. Cool. A lot of people like Recon. A lot of people feel that Recon is one of the best to take. No, they don't. It's security. Let's ignore that. Seek and Destroy. I like Seek and Destroy. I'm not going to lie. We know this already because we've seen the Warcom articles. The ability, it's fleet. If you know the compendium, you get fleet. Each time this operative is activated, it can perform a free dash action during that activation. Except it's better than fleet. You just get a free dash. It can be chained along with any other move. First up, we have a Voidscarred Fellarg. And then basically you're always going to give them the Neurodisruptor and Power Weapon. There really isn't a choice there. I mean, there is, but there isn't. And then you can take 8 other operatives. A Voidscarred Warrior, that's the standard Corsair. In this team, don't build any standard warriors. You don't need them. A Gunner, do build a Gunner. In fact, 90% of the time, take the Blaster. There you go. Sometimes the Shredder will be better, but the standard build here will be Blaster. And certainly, if you're looking at building only a single squad from Nachmund, make them the Blaster, not the Shredder. Voidscarred Heavy Gunner. You can take a Shuriken Cannon or Wraith Cannon. I'm going to be honest, don't build either of these. But if you have to build one of them, go with the Wraith Cannon. There you go. Then you build a Starstorm Duelist, a Kernite Hunter, a Shade Hunter, Runner, sorry, a Kernathi, a Fate Dealer, a Wave Seeker, and a Soul Weaver. Other than Voidscarred Warrior operatives, your kill team can only include each operative above once. Your kill team cannot include both a Voidscarred Gunner operative and a Voidscarred Heavy Gunner operative. That's right. So the Gunner with the Blaster cannot be mixed in with the Wraith Cannon. So in total, from these 8 that you could take, you are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Build all of the specialists and a Blaster. There you go. Okay, now we're jumping straight into psychic powers, which I've got to be honest, I think super cool. Eldar are some of the strongest psykers in the game, fluff-wise. Are they going to stand up to it? First thing we note, 4 different psychic powers. Also, this seems to be a common theme. You are able to cast 2 psychic powers with the use of some sort of ability or some sort of equipment added. But on a 1 to a 2, you take 3 multiples. So, Lightning Strike. What's this? 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 4/5, AP1. So inevitably anything that is AP1 is pretty nice. Like, I'm immediately interested. This is an acceptable attack. It's nothing to write home about. It's just like a strong bolter, basically. Cool. If you need to make a shoot action, it's not a bad weapon. And note that it is full range of the map. Warding Shield. Select one friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative visible to and within 6 inches of this operative. Till the end of the turning point, that operative has a 3-up invuln save. That is a very good invuln save. That's all I'm saying. Considering your guys are normally 4-up saves, getting +1 to their save and making it invuln means that this is something to keep in mind at all times. You're not always going to use it, but if you can predict where a big AP2 or even AP1 weapon is going to hit, popping this could be what saves the operative and possibly the game. Freezing Grasp. Select one enemy operative visible to this operative. Till the end of the turning point, subtract 2 inches for that enemy operative's movement characteristic, and it cannot perform the dash action. So this is pretty big, I'm not going to lie. This means that every model in the game is reduced to 4-inch move. Unless they have a +1 for whatever reason, in which case it's a 5-inch. But you then can't dash, which is very big. Then we have Warp Fold. Select one other friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative visible to and within 6 inches of this operative. That friendly operative and this operative both drop any objective markers they are carrying. That friendly operative then swaps positions with this operative, remove both operatives from the kill zone and set them back up in their new positions. So this is quite interesting. I'm not entirely sure what the point might be to swap the position of 2 models within 6 inches of each other. But I can certainly see that perhaps if one of the models is in a dangerous, precarious situation and is almost dead, you want to swap it for that reason. or one of the models has already made their full move, dash, and done something, but you need this guy to do it, but you already moved, you could warp fold. I'm sure there will be reasons to use it. Now, looking to the strategic ploys and the tactical ploys, this is a lot to read. And now a slightly different format for this bit due to the miracles and wonders of editing and how that works. Guys, I'm going to read to you strategic ploys, then tactical ploys, give you a little feedback on how it goes. Plunderers. Select up to 3 friendly Corsair Voidscarred operatives. Each of those operatives can immediately perform a free dash. When doing so, if the mission you are playing has any objective markers that are not being carried by operatives, each selected operative must end their dash action closer to the nearest objective marker. This is essentially 3 models get to make a dash for a CP. That's pretty good, it's just adding to their speed. You are going to find yourselves at times in a position where you don't want to use this dash because you cannot move forwards the way you want to go because the closest objective is behind you, but keep this in mind. This is also a good one for perhaps the first turning point. You get to do 3 dashes straight away. Rapid Strike. Until the end of the turning point, each time a friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative fights in combat, in the roll attack dice step of that combat, if you are the attacker and the target is not ready, you can select one of your normal hits to be retained as a critical hit. Yeah, pretty good. Outcasts. Until the end of the turning point, each time a friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative fights in combat or makes a shooting attack, in the roll attack dice step of that combat or shooting attack, if it is more than 6 inches from friendly operatives, if you retain any critical hits, you can select one of your failed hits to be retained as a successful normal hit. Again, pretty good. You don't want to be relying on critical hits, but yeah, nice. Then we have Aeldari Agility. Until the end of the turning point, each time a friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative is activated, it can use its Aeldari Agility. If it does so, it cannot perform fight or shoot actions during that activation, but each time it performs a dash, fallback, or normal move action during this activation, it can move an additional 1 inch for that activation. This is cumulative with both a dash and a normal move, so it's potentially 2 extra inches. We then get Opportunistic Fighters. Tactical ploys. That's the strategic ploys done. They mostly focus around killing things better and moving faster, which is pretty standard. Tactical ploys. Opportunistic Fighters. Use this tactical ploy when an enemy operative performs a fallback action. Before it moves, that enemy operative suffers D3 mortal wounds for each friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative within engagement range of it. So that's going to be niche, but I do see a benefit here, for example, against Harlequins, who tend to fall back from enemy models relatively easily. They might forget that you have this, and you can do an immediate D3 mortal wounds, and chances are if they're falling back, there's a reason they're doing that, and they might be close to death. And also note, it is per Voidscarred operative around them, so that would be very cool. Light Fingers. Use this tactical ploy during a friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative's activation. Until the end of that activation, that operative can perform for free either one mission action or the pickup action, even if it is within engagement range of an enemy operative. So I think the real use here, the way I've seen it, is, for example, you can spend a CP to save your APL. Specifically, I'm thinking with Tac Ops like Vantage Point or anything that is 2 APL there. Using this is probably a pretty good trade for you, because those are mission actions. We then have Deadly Ambush. Use this tactical ploy after an enemy operative finishes an action in which it moved. Select one friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative that is not within engagement range of an enemy operative. That friendly operative can immediately perform a free charge action, but can only move up to 3 inches, and must finish that move within engagement range of that enemy operative. Otherwise, it cannot move. Finally, we have One Step Ahead. Use this tactical ploy at the end of the initiative phase of the first turning point. You can redeploy up to 2 friendly Corsair Voidscarred operatives. They must be set up wholly within your deployment zone, and you can change their order. So I can see one step ahead being used alongside plunderers for some very interesting deployment zone shenanigans. It'll be interesting to see if you can bait somebody out, because by the time you will have deployed and put down your barricades, they know that you're just in the open, and you could then not only one step ahead but also plunderers and just completely confuse the enemy. I honestly couldn't have said it better myself, thank you, Jon. Moving over to the datasheets now, the stuff that we all love to look at, even though in an odd way it's not nearly as relevant as it used to be, because it's all about the abilities and the ploys. The Voidscarred Warrior. So there's something to note here. A lot of the models, if they have the ability to take a long shot with a rifle, have the take aim unique action. So let's read this so that we can discuss it a little bit. Till the end of this optive's activation, the shuriken rifle this operative is equipped with gains the balanced special rule. This operative cannot perform this action if it is within 3 inches of an enemy operative. So keep in mind that you always get a free dash. Now perhaps this makes a bit of sense. So you can always move 3 inches no matter what else you do. So move 3 inches, take aim, and fire with the shuriken rifle. And you're not doing too bad, all things considered. Inevitably, as with all things, their basic gun is better than a bolt gun. Poor Space Marines, am I right? My gosh. Also, you're never taking these. There you go. You just don't need one. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. In fact, if you're trying to learn the game and you just want to, but you just love the Corsair kill team, feel free to just run all of your guys as the Voidscarred Warrior. It's still going to be a very good model on the board. We then go to the Voidscarred Gunner. Just in case you don't know what a shredder and a blaster is. Blaster, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 5/6, AP2. Shredder, 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3/4, blast 2 inches. I love the AP2. Gets very reliable kills. However, if you're going into Vet Guard 14 models, there is a place for the shredder. Your choice. We then go over to the Heavy Gunner. Shuriken Cannon, 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, 4/5. Fusillade, heavy, unwieldy, rending. Now, for those of you that don't know, heavy means you can only move 3 inches in the turn. Again, though, you have a free dash, so you do that for free. And then you have unwieldy, which basically means it costs you 2 APL to fire. So, odd as it might sound, even though this is costing you 2 APL to fire, you're still getting the free dash. So you're still moving 3 inches, which is very peculiar. I don't really know why they did that, but they did, so it's fine. And then we have the Wraith Cannon. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 6/3 with a mortal wound 4. AP2, heavy unwieldy. That Wraith Cannon is a beast.
So we have the issue with the Heavy Gunner. The Heavy Gunner itself, it's very good, because we have already riders. It's the racial ability for a free dash. Having heavy and unwieldy, it's not that painful. You can actually dash and shoot without problem. So in another world, it will be awesome. But the problem is that it competes for the same spot as the blaster. As you already see in the composition, you cannot deploy a gunner and a heavy gunner at the same time. I don't think I'm gonna take nor the shuriken gunner or the wraith gunner over the blaster anytime. For example, a very quick comparison. The wraith cannon are 4 attacks hitting on 3, the same as blaster, with AP2, the same as blaster, and the only difference, if we ignore the heavy and unwieldy, as I said, it's not that painful, the only difference is the damage. We are taking the mortal wounds in account. The wraith cannon makes a 6/7 damage, while the blaster is 5/6. It's just 1 point of damage. So making up for that point of damage, the threshold for abusing it, it's very, very narrow, and you are not going to use it a lot. And meanwhile, you have the unwieldy and heavy. So I think I never gonna take the heavy gunner, and the blaster is the way to go.
We then get to the Voidscarred Starstorm Duelist. You have a fusion pistol and shuriken pistol. Quick on the trigger. This operative can perform the pistol barrage, which we'll read in a moment, and shoot actions while within engagement range of an enemy operative. If it does, in the select valid target step of that shooting attack, you can only select enemy operatives within this operative's engagement range as the target. Pistol barrage, 1 AP. Make a shooting attack with the fusion pistol and make a shooting attack with the shuriken pistol this operative is equipped with in any order. This action is treated as a shoot action. This operative cannot perform this action if it has a concealed. Get to within 3 inches, and this guy's, yes, sorry, do note, the fusion pistol is 3 inches, not 6. That is obviously very noteworthy. But if you're within 3 inches of something, you're hitting them with 2 guns. Or you're hitting one of them with the fusion pistol and another target with the shuriken pistol. Then get the Voidscarred Kernite Hunter. It's just a standard dude, but then we have the Fauchu. I'm just going to guess that's how it's pronounced. Select one enemy operative with a conceal order that is visible to this operative and roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result for each of the following. The enemy operative is within 6 inches of this operative. That enemy operative is not ready. That enemy operative is not within 1 inch of heavy cover. So you can potentially, if you meet all of these requirements, make somebody a 3-up to change their conceal order to an engage order, essentially. On a 6+ until the end of the turning point, friendly Corsair Voidscarred operatives treat that enemy operative as if it has an engage order. This operative cannot perform this action if it is within the engagement range of an enemy operative. I'm just going to say, when they put engage order and engagement right next to each other like that, it looks weird. This is, of course, very important. Being able to swap a model to not just you can shoot this, but to go from concealment to engage, very powerful. We then come to the Shade Runner. Now, of course, we've just seen the Shade Runner announced on Warcom, which probably dates the recording of this video. So we have seen the Shade Runner by now. You have a shuriken pistol, which is 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3-4. Nice. But you have throwing blades, which is 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 2-4, but it is silent. That's pretty interesting. And then you get Hecatari blades. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3-5, lethal 5-up, relentless. What this means is that you're actually going to be pretty consistent at dealing a significant amount of damage. But we then also get slicing attack, and before we read that out, we need to note we have a fly keyword. Perform a free normal move action with this operative. Select one enemy operative this operative moved within engagement range of during that move. Roll 1 attack dice as if this operative is fighting in combat. That dice can be re-rolled as this operative is it can be re-rolled as a result of the relentless special rule. If the result is a successful hit, you can immediately strike that enemy operative. So this works because you have fly, you are able to move within engagement range of an enemy model and then out of it without any issues. Slicing attack allows you to do that. We then get the Voidscarred Corsair Bladed stance. Dual power weapons. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 4-6, lethal 5-up, relentless. Bladed stance. Each time this operative fights in combat, in the resolve successful hit step of that combat, you can resolve 1 successful hit before the attacker. If you do so, that successful hit must be used to parry. So this is the standard kind of duelist model. It's pretty cool. He has 2 swords. I'm going to be honest, I saw Kernathi and I saw Kernite when I was building my models, and I assumed I had already built this model, and it wasn't obvious that he should be built and isn't just a normal guy, because even the normal warriors come with these power weapons. So I actually mistakenly didn't build this model. Just be aware of that. When you get Nachmund in your hand, be aware that this is a model you can build and is a unique specialist model. We then come to the Voidscarred Fate Dealer. This is your sniper, your ranger, if you will. We have the Ranger Long Rifle, 4 attacks, hitting on 2s, 3-3, Heavy Silent, Mortal Wound 3. Camo Cloak. Each time a shooting attack is made against this operative, and the roll defense dice step of that shooting attack before rolling a defense dice, if it is in cover, one additional dice can be retained as a successful normal save as a result of cover. Now, this is actually very nice. Being able to auto-retain 2 saves is huge. And they have take aim as well, which again, makes sense considering your gun is heavy, you're always going to dash anyway, so you would always free dash, take aim, shoot. I mean, it only gives you balance, which is reroll a single dice, but it's still pretty useful.
Maybe this is the model I like the least. With Eldars, I really value the mobility over all the things, and this one packs a heavy weapon. So yeah, it's maybe terrain dependent. You need to have a very good firing lanes for using it, maybe for positioning on first turn, then on an advantage, and after that you're gonna shoot 3 turns with him. But I don't know, I can see this model being swapped out for a warrior with a power weapon sometimes.
With the Voidscarred Wayseeker. Now this is the the psychic dude. So we get the Witch Staff, 4 attacks hitting on 3 is 3/5, so not bad, but also, you know, not amazing. And he gets to do psychic powers. And you know what? Like I said, I'm Man Reads book. Let's talk to Man Understands book. Jon, how does the Wayseeker fit in with the psychic powers? When am I using them? What's up?
I really like this model. I just love all the psychic powers. I'm very sentient, so casting, manifesting psychic powers, it's actually what I love. And this one is very powerful. He has an inbuilt ability for manifesting 2 powers per activation. The first one just go off, but for the second one you have to roll a dice. If you roll a 3+, okay, the power goes as normal, but if you roll a 1 or a 2, the power just fizzles, it doesn't work, and actually you take 3 mortal wounds. There is a piece of equipment we wanna take later that ignores the 3 mortal wounds, but yeah, it's very powerful because you can just cast 2 powers per turn. So in 4 turns, you can just, or if survives obviously, you can just seek for casting about 6 psychic powers, so it's just wonderful. And it's very versatile. If you just want him for making soaring attacks, the lightning strike, the basic shooting attack, it's very good. 4 attacks hitting on 3s with 4/5 damage with AP1. It's powerful. It's almost like a special weapon from another faction. So yeah, if you just want to shoot, it's very good one. It's like a second gunner. If accounting the blaster, but this is a blaster -1. It's a bit worse blaster, but yeah, you can have a second one. So yeah, really good shooting. But actually, if you want some supportive, you have the option for giving a model an invulnerable save or just hampering an enemy movement. Yeah, I love it. There are some combos, maybe with the, I don't know, the Shape Runner that can see already bypasses some enemy model, placing mortal wounds, and then you can just teleport back. I don't know. Lot of power. We have to test it in games, in real table, in real games. But yeah, I love it. I think it's one of the key pieces of this kill team.
We then come to the Soul Weaver. Now, I'm not exactly going to read this to you. I'm just going to say the Soul Weaver is the comms and the medic wrapped up together, which takes us to the Voidscarred Eldar. Neuro Disruptor, 4 attacks, hitting on 2s, 4/5, range 6, AP1, stun. That's right, it's exactly the same as Harlequins, as you would expect. But we have further rules. Coordinated Strike. Each time this operative is activated, you can select one ready friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative visible to and within 3 inches of this operative. After this operative's activation ends, you can activate that ready friendly operative. This essentially makes him GA2. Very cool. Then he also has Take Aim. Now that might seem odd, but notice that he can, if he wants, take a shuriken rifle. I don't think you ever would, Not with him, but it's something you could do. We then come over to equipment, and guys, you know what this means. This means, Yon, what do? Me again, back the next day thanks to the magic of editing. Let's get into it, and I'm just going to say it straight away. I have no idea how to pronounce Dieternal Mantle, but we're going with whatever I just said. Dieternal Mantle, 2 EP. Each time a shooting attack is made against this operative, if the ranged weapon has the Torrent or Blast special rule, this operative is treated as having a save characteristic of 3+ for that shooting attack. This is going to be used if you are expecting a lot of grenade spam, but all things considered, it's only giving you a +1 save. I'm not quite sure when I take this. Plasma grenade. So I suppose I should say, just so you're aware of my current beliefs on how equipment works, grenade spam's really good. I haven't read the rest yet, but you're gonna take 3 plasmas. That's my guess. Maybe something else will come up, but plasma grenade, 4 attacks hitting on 3s, 3/4, blast, indirect. Corsair blade, 1 EP, attack 3, hitting on 3s, 3/4. Ocular scanner. This is 2 EP, and it gives you access to an action which costs you 1 APL. Until the end of this operative's activation, the ranged weapon it is equipped with gains the no cover special rule. Runes of Protection, 2 EP. Runes of Protection. Each time a shooting attack is made against this operative, in the roll defense dice step of that shooting attack, if that shooting attack was made as a result of the manifest psychic power action, you can reroll any or all of your defense dice. This isn't when you make the attack, it's when you receive the attack. Although I do like this because it's relatively good. Re-rolling all of your defense dice is actually very strong. And it's not once per battle, it's the entire game. I think if you're up against the Warp Fire, the Warp Coven, this actually might be something you take. So that's pretty cool. Note the Runes of Protection isn't limited. You could put that on 5 of your guys. Mistfield, 3 EP. This is for your leader only, the Voidscarred Eldar. While a friendly Corsair Voidscarred operative is within 2 inches of this operative, that operative has a 5+ invuln save. I can see the usefulness here, because don't forget that the Voidscarred Eldar has a close model is GA2 ability, essentially, and this will give them a 5+ invuln as well. I'm not sure how often you're taking a 5+ invuln. You're only ever taking it against something with AP2. Lodestar Helm, 2 EP. Obviously it's for your Psycho only. The second time this operative performs the manifest psychic power action in each of its activations, it does not suffer any mortal wounds as a result of rolling a 1 or a 2. Note this does not allow you to select a psychic power to be resolved. Interesting. Also, a good definition here, when you're casting a second psychic power, the 1 or the 2, yes, gives you mortal wounds, but also stops you from actually performing the psychic action, which is good to know. Good clarification. We then go to Pathfinder Cloak. In regards to validity of Lodestar Helm, I actually think you probably want that. I suspect the Wayseeker is going to be someone that you are constantly using psychic actions, attacking, buffing, whatever. You probably want to be doing 2 of them a turn, so maybe the Lodestar Helm. Then come to Pathfinder Cloak, 2 EP. This is for your Fate Dealer, who is the sniper only. While this operative has a conceal order, it is always treated as having a conceal order, regardless of any other rules. So I recently filmed a battle report in which my opponent mentioned that this is actually a good way to get a model who is practically untargetable. And with equipment done, let's go back to me from 2 days ago when I originally recorded this video. Okay guys, we're now done with the Man Reads book and luckily the Man Explains book part of the video. The final part of this is going to be me just very quickly giving you a few ideas about how this team's going to play and how you should build them. Although the build part of this video was more relevant to the Legionaries. For the Corsair Voidscarred kill team, the truth is there's not much to talk about when it comes to a build for them. In fact, I've already said, but just in case we need a quick summary, when you open your 10 dudes, make sure that you build one of every specialist plus the gunner. The gunner I would recommend is the blaster. It can be the shredder if you prefer. Also, do note that because you can only have the one gunner operative on the board, build either and then just say it's whichever one you prefer. No one's going to call you out on it. It's fine. A lot of people won't even know the difference, and from 3 feet away it's actually really hard to see the difference. That's it. There's really no build options here. You're not going to run a different list. This is the kill team. There is no, oh well, maybe I want to take 3 or 4 of the standard Voidscarred warriors, because they're not GA2. They're not giving you any bonus in that regard. They're just regular guys that aren't having the special abilities that the specialists do. There you go. The only thing I would say is the way this kill team plays is they are very fast, and it's going to catch some people off guard the first time they play them, but these are real glass hammers. They're very fast, but they're 8 wounds with a 4-up save. They will die very quickly. So you can't actually put them out there, and you really need to get used to not moving as far as 9 inches really is. You're moving 6 and running away 3, okay? In an odd way, you are a 3-inch move team. Odd as that might sound. They're very killy though, I will say, and they're an interesting team. A lot of teams either seem to be melee or ranged, and because of the way ranged weapons work in kill team, that means you are the entire boards. That's your threat range, the entire board. This is the first kill team that is, I mean, obviously they have a mix. They can be effective at all ranges, but this is the first team that is really truly effective at 6 inches. Everything else, a little bit. But these guys, their threat range, their lethality, their lethal range is the 6-inch range. But honestly, what do I know? What does Spain think about this?
That's all from my part. I really hope you enjoyed the content so far. I apologize if I made any pronunciation mistake. As I already told, I'm not English speaker, so it's very hard for me recording, thinking, and speaking in English all at the same time. I'm man after all. We don't know usually being able to make many things at the same time, so that was hard. But I think it's very well explained. That's obviously my opinion. It's just mine. But yeah, I think the Corsairs are going to be very competitive, are very, very mobile, with load of Sunningams, getting fighting lanes into the objectives and stealing them. I don't know. Obviously, in close combat, they are a monster house with all the power swords they can put on the table. Eager to play them. Just 1 week away. Next week the box will be in the shelves, so just enjoy it, and that's all. Goodbye, and well, just play kill team. See you later.
Okay, and as a final word, if I had to say, what is this team going to be in the future? Or sorry, what is Nachmund going to be in the future? Legionaries are not going to be on the top table, or on occasion, but in reality they're not the top team. These guys could be a top team. I think we will see them in places on podiums. That's all I can really say right now, but I will say for sure that if you've made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Wow, the triple pleasantries simply never stop coming in this double-decker bunk bed house of fun that is the Glass Half Dead Corsair Voidscarred Kill Team video. Anyway guys, I hope this has been interesting for you. A big thanks to Jon, and I hope to see you in the battle report videos that I'll be doing later this week. Until then, I hope you've had a good day and continue to have a good day. Goodbye.